Hello, hello,
Hello, friends.
everybody. We are
I'm just,
live
we
here
are live.
today. Anne Marie Pizzaro is did I pronounce that correctly?
Sure did.
Well, I'm so excited to have Anne.
Pizzaro.
Did I pronounce that correctly?
Uh-oh.
Hear an
Got a
echo.
little glitch there.
No, we're having some tech glitches today. We've decided it's the energetic field strong with us. So just let go of any tech stuff in the way, and we are excited to be here. Anne Marie is a Akashic Records business coach, and I would love to turn this over to you and to tell us a little bit more, one, about you. I've had the honor to meet and connect with Anne and hear her story, which is so impactful. And she's such a beautiful soul. And so I would love for you to just share a little bit about who you are. Anything you want to share with us about your story. I think stories are so powerful, so impactful. And then I would love to hear what are the Akashic Records, because I think this is something that I know I've heard the term for the last couple years, but didn't really know what it was. I think in my mind, I thought, is this some sort of astrology or something? And so I would love to hear from you, and if there are words that can describe what the
Yeah.
Akashic Records are.
Oh my goodness. Wow, Rachel, this is so exciting to connect with you today. And honestly, I find it so amusing that we are having these tech glitches because what I've discovered when I'm working with people, especially when we work in the field of the Akashics, is that it comes through even into technology. So it's important for us to be able to just sit with that energy and even release any attachments to what we think needs it looks like, and the RKs, the record keepers, just clear that path. I actually didn't start off as an Akashic Records reader and teacher. I started off as a nurse. So I have a really long, extensive background in healthcare. And I left nursing at about 18 years into this career. And I was like burnt to a crisp. Like I was like super fried because I was working as a nurse and I was slowly building up this practice on the side. And I remember this one conversation I had with the record keepers where I was like, please help me, guys. And they were like, what exactly do you want? I said, I would love to work for myself. And the request was, are you really ready to commit? And I was like, sure, I'm ready. And then I got thrown right into the mix. And this started about 2013. And I just really created this intentional energy to serve. I'd already been serving in the hospital for many years, but I realized that I was serving people who didn't necessarily have that intention to be a co-creator with their health. Our healthcare system is a bit broken. And so I realized I was like, I wanted to work with people who want to be able to work with themselves. And so I started working in Akashic Records. And in 2016, I actually retired from my work as a nurse to do this work full time. And it has, evolved me, transformed me, allowed me to really create this business of my dreams. And most of all, it's allowed me to be able to see life and my relationships with people, my purpose in the world with such open eyes that it's about, I'm going to say this, you got to milk the universal teat to get the most out of life. Like you can't sit in the sidelines waiting to be called into the game. You got to like raise your hand and be like, I'm willing to play. So when you ask what the Akashic Records are, I'm going to bring it to an awareness of what our current world needs to understand about it so they get it, which is it's the universe's supercomputer. Now, when we put it that way, then it makes us understand, go, Oh, computers. We get that. We can search for anything in computers in the world of the internet. We can discover all kinds of new things, and we can find out all kinds of stuff about ourselves. If you've ever Googled your name, you might find out a whole history of things that you didn't know, or even how many times people search for you. So, what the records are really is the universe's supercomputer. And all souls who have ever come through this plane are all stored in this universe's supercomputer. And each of these individual files is constantly tracking your thoughts, words, feelings, experiences, and it's cataloging this data so that way when you come back to Earth, you can dive into this universal computer or the book of life and get information about your life, your purpose, your reason for coming back. And it gives you a much more clearly defined path. So, one, you don't waste your time here on Earth. It's not a waste of time. I just want to be clear, friends. You're not wasting your time. You're really maximizing your decisions. You're intentionally co creating. And most of all, you release any aspects of, am I on track with my life? When you realize that you're co-creating every single day, then you really start to, come from a place of, I have an influence. I do have an impact rather than just I'm reacting to whatever shows up. And when you start to realize you can actually create new programs, you can manifest and create new outcomes, that's when you start to really believe in your potential. So I'm going to start off there. I hope that gets us
Amazing.
started.
That's an amazing place to start. And I love the analogy of a supercomputer that you can access this data and utilize that data to have this incredible experience and live this incredible life. And I love that you coming from probably a bit of a scientific background and in nursing and that sort of medical environment, were able to have this awareness and tap into the energy and this whole sphere, because I think it's so important as it relates to healing not only our emotions, our traumas, but our
Mhm.
physical well-being. And I'm curious, what would you say to people who, I think there's always going to be skeptics and
Oh,
naysayers and the people who really live in a very logical existence where their brain tells them no, that can't be true, or that doesn't really happen. And what I know is true is because of energy and being
yeah.
able to feel the experience of an energetic shift or a
Yeah.
healing and that transformation. What would you say to somebody who, I guess, is curious about experiencing this? One, what advice would you give to somebody who's like maybe a little skeptical, on the edge, but
Yeah.
curious, about kind of experiencing this or diving in a little more?
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to demystify three myths, first of all. And one of the myths is that this is only accessible for people who are gifted or just for the spiritual gurus. And maybe at one point in time in our human history, it was. But friends, since we've started having such a quicker evolution and this awakening in the world, it's this tool that's now accessible to all of us because it is reinforcing that we are our own spiritual guru, first of all. So, for those people who might be skeptical, the first thing I would encourage you to consider is, do you believe in your own intuition? That's my first thing. The second myth that I'd like to dispel when it comes to the Akashic Records is that it's dangerous, and if you access it, something negative might happen to you. I've been reading the Akashic Records for over 16 years. I've never had that experience. Now, the way I practice and work with it is to really come from a place of advocacy and integrity. I'm not using it as a tool to manipulate people or try to take advantage of them. So if there is a part of you that may have some kind of caution around, will it mess with my life and my karma? I want to share with you that everything from your wheelhouse around your choices and decisions comes from you first. And anything that anyone says to you, from you should follow this path to you should be vegan to you should buy this thing at the store, all comes from your decision to either follow it or initiate your own guidance. And the third thing is that the Akashic Records isn't real. Well, you know, if you're the kind of logical person that needs proof for something to exist, there are a lot of things in our world that currently exist that we can't have proof of, like things like energy, or even the quantum field, or, viruses and bugs that we can't always see, but we know they exist. And when we get affected by them, we're like, oh, I feel bad. So if you're a skeptic, my encouragement would be to try it before you say anything about it. And if you're not sure, read about it, because this is something that's an offering from source to us to use. So I run into skeptics all the time. I get clients who are skeptics. But at the end of it, all I'm doing is I'm reinforcing the sweet spot in their life, which is, I was thinking about that, but you're reinforcing that this is a good decision for me to make. It'll be safe. I can confidently go in that decision and choice. And their words are, yes, you can. And people relax. So I've found that, the record keepers don't really bring anything so out of our own wheelhouse when it comes to choice. And where some skepticism comes in is they just don't really understand what we're talking about. But do you hesitate in using your computer? You don't understand how your computer really works, do you? But you don't have a problem turning it on, going to Google and searching for lasagna recipe. Not that I'm saying you could access lasagna recipe, but I bet if you open the records to find out your own personal lasagna recipe, you might get something that would actually be really tasty for you.
I love that. And this is a good moment for me to share because I had never experienced the Akashic
Yeah,
Records, but like I said, I kept hearing it. And I had a really like a quick experience a week ago, just
yeah.
a week ago. And I have to say, it was incredible. What came through was exactly what I was experiencing. And it was that there was an area I was stuck, and
Mm-hmm.
that came through really clear. And then, like, the guidance that came through was so powerful. And it was almost like it just washed away the feelings of being stuck, the confusion, the uncertainty. It like washed it away, and it was like a laser.
Yes.
Boom. Um and I haven't had a whole lot of experiences that are almost like that quick for that much clarity. And I've done all the work, you name it.
Yep.
I've done all the retreats and journeys and healings, and I am always searching for more. And I love experiencing everything that's out there. But this was really, really powerful. I'm curious, like, what is something or a variety of things that somebody would come to you or come to somebody who is an Akashic Records guide or coach? What are some of the things they would come with or questions they might have?
Wow. Wow. I tell you, I'm going to share with you the top 3 questions that almost universally shows up in these readings. And the first is, what's my soul's purpose? So even if you are in your perfect job and you're in your perfect happy relationship, there's a little niggling part that says, am I really doing the things that I came down here to do? And if you're not, the record keepers will pull out the areas where you're feeling dissatisfied in your life for you to address and not glaze over anymore, because your time on earth is so precious that they want you to choose and live from an empowered place. So what's my soul's purpose? And that what goes along with my soul's purpose is, am I on track? So those people that are like, okay, I figured it out, I'm doing my work, I'm impacting and contributing to the world, but am I actually on the right track. And when you get the support, even we understand you're stuck and you're feeling heavy right now, this is where we need you to be for you to get ready for what's next. So fighting even those moments is going against your own personal flow, because when the time shifts and then you initiate into action, you no longer have those feelings that hold you back. So when you find out you're on track, you actually relax. And when you relax, that's when you let go of any of the pressure to have to do anything more than just be in that moment. So the third question that I get asked almost all the time is, what was I in my past life? So come on, you guys. We got to look at the fact that if the universal computer holds all your past information, your present life incarnation, and the future potentials. So when people discover, oh, I did this, I created that, I was married to who, and these were my soul lessons, it makes them understand why they have these challenges on earth, why they have these lessons. And oftentimes, once they get that, they release all judgment of why those funky relationships had to happen, why they made that decision that they've been kicking themselves in the butt for years for, because the record keepers are actually saying, you had to learn that lesson, you had to do that again, so that this time around, you can either resolve how you chose, forgive yourself, and move forward, or close that book, put it back in the library, and say, I'm done. I'm so done, and I don't have to do this again. And when you do that, you give yourself permission to heal, evolve, and transform. So past lives are so fun. I feel like when people ask about past lives, I'm like, ooh, let's turn on the Netflix. Let's watch this video series of your life. And there's no judgment. They're like, you were good, you were bad, you were naughty, you had fun, and you messed up a few people's lives along the way. But you also learned a crap load. So good for you, little soul.
Oh my goodness, that is incredible. I mean, who wouldn't want to know what happened in their past life? And because I think, we get reminders in this life and it can hold us back. It can trip us up. We have to keep repeating and learning lessons over and over again. And why not actually tap in to be aware,
Yeah,
to understand, and really work on healing that and stopping that pattern for like the most incredible, expansive experience in this time frame
absolutely.
existence as possible, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because, one of the other questions I get are, what are my blocks? So when you show the story, the configuration of the soul's journey from these are the past lives that now contribute to these blocks, lessons, or patterns, what are you going to do about it in this time? You can't
Yeah.
glaze over that work, right?
And that actually probably leads to answering some of those other questions. What is my purpose? What is my, like, it all is so
Totally.
connected, right? Now I know you're an Akashic Records business coach. So tell me a little bit about that. Does that mean that people come to you who want to do this and want to offer this?
Yes, and
So
I was really uncomfortable with calling myself an Akashic business coach, but then I realized that what lights me up is advocating, supporting, and helping spiritual entrepreneurs rock their work. How many channels have I met or have you met, Rachel, who feel really uncomfortable about charging? I
mm,
used to run networking groups for spiritual entrepreneurs and business owners. And what I noticed was, wait a minute, why are these practitioners struggling so hard, and they legitimately are having such a hard time growing their business when this is what they came here to do? And so they had to coach me. Like the record keepers had to coach me because I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And then when you work with a business coach, and she was like, identify your title. And I swam through all these words, and I was just like, yeah, this doesn't quite fit. And it always came back to, what do you like to do? I like to help people build up their business. And what I've noticed was 9 times out of 10, the types of clients that I attract are really high achieving people. They
Mhm.
are known to drive themselves either in the world of creatives, in the world of entertainment, in the world of business, in the world of coaching, in the world of healing. And they bring so many business questions that the record keeper started to answer them. And before I knew it, 90% of the clients that I work with were in business in some shape or form and always kept appearing. So that's a title that I decided to embrace. And I even launched an Akashic business group coaching where we use the Akashic records to open the business of a soul to answer the questions for that person based on their business. And it's been so much fun. So it's definitely not your traditional business coaching. And I have worked with traditional business coaches, and I'm super excited at this season to work with an energetic business coach who gets the relationship with energy and business, because I feel like, holistic practitioners really miss this part,
Mhm.
and this is where they struggle.
Yeah.
So let's clear that stuff, man, so you can
I love
prosper,
it.
you
I
know?
find this too with, because I also am so drawn to working with mind, body, spirit entrepreneurs. This is the language I speak. This is the space I want to be in. And I'm one of those like super spiritual people who also is super into business. And there's such a need for that because what I find is a lot of time when we're highly empathic and we're people and we're feeling oriented, the
Yeah.
business piece feels really hard and
Yes.
like tough. And we're, a lot of entrepreneurs right now are feeling like they need to put it all together. They need to know everything, how to, build their site and their program and their funnel and
Yes.
what happens is it actually distracts and pulls them away, and then can sometimes also take the passion out of just serving and
Yes.
transforming. So having not only, the guidance from the records, the guidance from a business, somebody who's done it and created a successful business for themselves, you,
Yeah.
and then to be able to have that support as they navigate creating their own business while staying really aligned with their purpose, I think is
Yeah.
so needed, so
Yeah.
important.
Like you talk about purpose, Rachel, and what I realized in calling myself an Akashic business coach was I realized that my purpose here is to actually help train readers to become professionalized and legitimized as businesses. Because a lot of people don't look at channels, mediums, intuitive healers, spiritual healers as really professional. So
Yeah,
when you're
I
not
think
considered
it's
professional,
happening more and more, thank goodness, because there's a
right?
lot more professionals coming out and saying, "I'm also really spiritual, and this is what I love, and this is what I believe in, and this is what I'm drawn to, and this actually has helped me, multiply my success and my path and my clarity in
Sure.
business." So I love
Yeah.
it.
It's no longer like one tract only. It's about really honoring the logical and the intuitive, the masculine and the feminine, the ability to bridge these two worlds so you can really be balanced in what you get. This is what the reason why I like that word legitimize. Because I feel like when you legitimize not only yourself, but the fact that you're like, I have proof that this works, then you don't have to try to explain yourself to people, because then you're just like, well, if you don't buy it or like it or want it or need it, that's okay. There's
Yes.
somebody that fits you out there, and then you let go of being attached.
Exactly. And you will draw in those who are seeking and who are open and who are ready to take their business to the next level and align with that energy as well. So we've got a few minutes left. I would love to hear about your offer. I'm actually going to share a little graphic here. And this is a master class that you are offering. Can you tell us a little bit about this? And anyone, if you want to point your phone and follow the link, this will take you to more information, but I'd love to hear about it from you.
Yeah, well, Akashic Records Made Easy came to me as an idea because this is my fifth class or program that I'm running for the Akashic Records. And this is a master class that I wanted to be able to give people really practical information. And I've already given you guys a little taste test by demystifying those three myths. And why this class is so important is that it makes it accessible for people who might even be a little curious about, will this help me? So this
Mhm.
class shows you all the ways that the Akashic Records can help you. It breaks down not only the basics, but I actually break down a 3-step framework that I developed in teaching this program that really simplifies the process for people. And the reason why I share this is that I've had tons of Akashic Record readings. You got to, if you're going to be a reader, you got to get readings from other people to understand really the full spectrum of the Akashic Records. And what I've discovered in doing this for a long time is that, whoa, I've had to learn some things along the way that I may not have gotten in the very beginning. So what this masterclass does is it starts to cover the gap around what's missing from your desire to use your intuition to connect to the Akashic Records. And that's why we said it's made easy. Because honestly, Rachel, I feel like the world is a little stressed. It's been a little stressful January and February, just gonna say.
Yep.
And most people are like, when does the water ease energy of the rabbit come into the whole feng shui season? I'm like, please let it be now. So we want to make something so easy and digestible. You don't have to work hard, that you only have to make one decision. Is
Yeah.
this for me or not?
I love that. People need easy right now. They need easy and light and something that they can really resonate with. And I
Yeah,
love what you said about receiving readings in order to understand and to learn. And I find that's true with so many modalities in healing or spirituality. If you're
totally.
curious or you want to utilize this in your life or you want to share it with other people,
Yeah,
you've got to dive in and you've got to experience it and multiple layers even of that thing, and that's how you really know if it aligns for you or not. So I just want
yeah.
to encourage you to check out Anne Marie. Her website is at the bottom here, Body Energy Connection. She's got this incredible masterclass. I will be sharing links because she has a lot of other ways to get in touch with her, social media. Anything else that you want to share with the group here today about joining your world or being part of your incredible Akashic energy collective?
Oh my goodness. I got to tell you, friends, I'm so grateful for the gift that the records brought into my life because it's the invitation to play and be completely free.
Mm,
This is one of my values, actually, freedom.
mhm.
And to be able to be in a creative world, business, and to come from a place of freedom here in my soul just makes me realize I can create anything I desire, from books, music, art, classes, because I can tap into the universal computer and it can show me what the world needs. Not necessarily what I need, what the world needs. And that actually helps us to be able to amplify our superpower to support. Instead of saying, I'm going to create this class because it feels so good to me, that's when I check in with the record keepers and go, is this what's needed?
Mhm.
So there's a lot of different ways that you can come and join me and play in this world because it is not work. It is not work. And
It
when
is
you start
fun.
working, it is so fun. It brings such healing. And I got to tell you, here's a superpower secret. When you work in a space like the Akashic Records, where it's timeless, you can start to bend time to
Mhm.
say, bring this to me faster. Bring
Mhm.
this energy,
Mhm.
clear me faster.
Yes.
Bend time so I get younger. Now that's gonna really play a thing on people's heads because we have such a relationship with time and aging. So what if you could just slow that down so that way you gain time rather than lose it? And Yeah.
Oh, you made such a beautiful point that like really the ultimate question is how can I impact the world and how can I make a difference or utilize these energies, these frequencies, this creativity, these gifts to make a larger impact outside of myself. So that's what we're doing here. That's what we're all doing here, right? And
Yeah.
so, I absolutely love that. And I appreciate you coming here. And, the Akashic Records, I don't know if you all call yourself coaches or guides that I've met are all extremely youthful, have this incredible glow. So there really is something to that. It's the fountain of youth are in the records.
Yes.
Thank you so much,
You're
Marie, for
welcome.
being here today, for sharing the space with me. I'm going to post all of her incredible links below, and please reach out to her if you have any questions or want to learn more or to have a reading. I'm going to have a reading with her myself, and I can't wait. I am so excited, and so far my experience is absolutely mind blowing. And we've got another incredible guide in the chat, Rosalind,
Yeah.
who I've experienced as well. So
Yes.
there are some really, really amazing guides out there.
Absolutely. And I'm going to double back on that, Rosalind, because Rosalind and I are in the same coaching container. And when I saw that Rosalind does the Akashics, I didn't even hesitate. I was like, go to your site, book, let's do this reading. I don't want to even wait. Let's talk tomorrow. And it was so incredible. Different readers deliver different things. And that's the value of getting to have different readings from different people, because you're going to get what you need in the moment when you're with that reader.
Absolutely. And you both are like so vibrant and alive and incredible and like the kind of women that you just want to be around them. You want to be in their energy. You want to get the readings from them. So really, really honored to have crossed paths here with both of you.
Me
So
too.
thank you everybody for tuning in today. Reach out with any questions if you're interested in being on this series, Business in Abundance, or you know somebody who's a mind, body, spirit, wellness, business entrepreneur or coach, please reach out to me and I'd be happy to connect. So any final words, Anne?
Live. Do it. Don't wait. Your life is here right now. You're making decisions every single day. So please choose you first and enjoy your journey. This is a gift.
I love it. Thank you.
You're welcome.